Hello, friends. This is Dr. Vijay, and welcome back to the podcast on health and wellness. And today we are going to discuss about one of the most important topic about vision, that is cataract. It is the most common, most confusing, and an equally neglected condition. Cataract actually means a slowly progressive change in the lens, which leads to opacification and slowly turning out to be blindness. So, to discuss more on this topic, we have with us Dr. Sriram, a young and a talented ophthalmologist from Guntur. Hi, Dr. Sriram. How are you doing?
Hi, Dr. Vijay. I'm fine. Hope you're safe and good too. At the outset, I would like to thank you for taking up this initiative to educate public about the common health issues and clear the stigma around them.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sriram. I am also fine. Sriram, we are discussing about a topic on cataract, and as it's the most common condition, and each and every individual will go through this in his or her old age. What do you want to say about this?
Yes, Dr. Vijay, surely. As Sanskrit verse goes, Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam. Vision is the most crucial sense organ for mankind. Cataract is the second most important cause for treatable blindness. So, in today's technological advancement, it has made cataract surgery one of the most commonly performed truly elective procedure. By this, I mean it is done under topical anesthesia. There's no need for battery of investigations, and there's no need for prior admission too. And it is having a limited post-operative period, and decent precision of vision can be gifted. So it is a very advanced surgery in today's day.
Right. A very advanced and an important surgery that too being done under a topical anesthesia is really a good thing. But Sriram, the most frequent doubt in many minds is actually when to get operated.
Traditionally, the senile cataract is gradually progressive and it takes time for total opacification. The timing of surgery is customized to each patient. So we can discuss it under two headings. One is the eye condition, the other is the patient issues. A cataract is graded based on the presenting vision as mild, moderate, and severe. So if a patient is unable to read at 6 meters, it is graded as mild cataract, and 3 meters and less is moderate cataract, and close to face or even worse as perception of light is graded as severe cataract. Mild grade cataract can be managed by spectacles. They can wait and they are advised to get their checkup every 6 months. Moderate grade patients, they are given an option to get their operation done or can plan the surgery. But severe grade are to be treated as sight threatening emergency and to be operated immediately. So in severe grade cataracts, they are not only having worse vision at presentation, but also they are complicated to operate and the outcome cannot be assessed or guaranteed. So the patients need to be counseled appropriately as they may have a higher expectations too. So the comorbidities like diabetes, they may progress the cataract formation earlier than expected. And aging is there to the other structures of the eye too, like age related macular degeneration, and some may have coexisting conditions like glaucoma, dry eye. So all these need to be addressed at the earliest for achieving a good vision. And
Okay.
the patient factors are like depending on occupation, like drivers, they need early visual rehabilitation for better outcome. And homemakers, they may wait for some time if they fall in mild category. There is a blessing in disguise for few patients with nuclear based cataract. They get second vision at this age. So, due to change in the optics of the opacifying lens. So, for them,
Okay.
we can wait as post surgery. They may not have the privilege of near vision as they used to enjoy before surgery. So, I hope I
Yeah.
have cleared the doubt. If
Yeah.
the day to day activities are hampered and it is correlating with the grade of cataract, so to improve their vision, we can advise surgery. So it is
Okay.
depending on all these points, we can advise surgery.
So, Sriram, I just want to know, like you have briefly discussed about the factors which are actually leading to whether to choose surgery or not. But what happens if a patient is advised surgery, but he himself or she herself postpones the surgery?
The progression and duration of moderate grade to severe grade cataract is individualized. So if the patient is having associated comorbidities like diabetes, the cataract tends to progress faster. So some may even go into vision-threatening conditions like lens-induced glaucoma. But like a few cataracts, they may be very mild at examination, but they will be having a lot of disturbance in the vision. So for them,
Okay.
we advise the surgery because for they will be able to uh, appreciate the vision much better after surgery. So it depends upon the case. But in today's COVID era, we are asking our patients with mild and moderate grade cataract to delay, if possible, to ensure the safety. So if the vision is hampering the day-to-day living, especially in elderly, it needs to be operated.
Right. Right. And so, Dr. Sriram, like because cataract is a bilateral condition, like what is the minimum time gap between the two eyes if at all both are to be operated?
Yes, in today's technology and expertise, both at a time also is possible. But to be on a safer side, minimum of 2 weeks duration is recommended.
Right, right. So I think this is one major doubt for many people actually. And one more important and most confusing aspect of is with respect to the lens. Because whenever a patient goes to the doctor, there are few people who counsel about foreign lens, Indian lens, and all these things. How should we actually select?
So it's a most awaited question, Dr. Vijay. Today's cataract surgery is labeled as micro incision cataract surgery with foldable intraocular lens implantation. So
Okay.
post-operative recovery is the major point which has brought down to just 2 hours. Because 2 hours after surgery, you can play very well tennis too. So that's the
Right.
present day technology. The IOL
Wow.
technology has gone way ahead in providing unmatched clarity of vision. So there are three major distances at which we perceive our vision day to day life. Like distance vision, like reading bus boards, etc., at 6 meters, it's considered
Okay.
as that's the limit. Whereas at intermediate is 40 centimeters, like for viewing mobile, computer, and near vision 30 centimeters for reading a newspaper, like that.
Okay.
Previously, we used to implant lens for distance vision alone and prescribe glasses for near and intermediate vision post-operatively. So, but today's IOL can give vision at all the distances. This helps in patient glasses free. But
Okay.
foldable IOL is made up of acrylic material, which can be hydrophilic or hydrophobic. This is based on water content of the lens. So the best IOL today available is hydrophobic acrylic material. So
Hmm.
the advantages are the precision of the lens and the adaptability of the lens. So these IOLs also help in preventing the most common late complications like after cataract formation, and also it helps in blockage of unwanted light rays, which actually tend to leave the patient with a lot of glare and decrease in contrast sensitivity. So all these are
Okay.
almost addressed by the latest IOLs. So the
Okay.
cost factor, when we come to cost of IOL, that is dependent on calculated power of the lens to be implanted also. Sometimes we need to order them. They are called as
Hmm.
customized IOLs. So the higher the package offered, that is the rate fixed for the precision of lens and also for the skill of the doctor too. So in coming to the selection of IOL, this topic can be discussed under two headings like eye condition and patient requirements. So if the age is more than 80 plus, the patient's cornea will be poor. So in such conditions, premium lenses may not be so useful. And also in
Okay.
diabetic, where retina health is not good, premium lenses are avoided. And patient requirements like when in drivers, night job goers, they may find it difficult to adjust for the multifocal lenses. And whereas
Okay.
the homemakers or those who work at a decent distance, working distance of around 40 to 60 centimeters, they will be very much benefited, like sports people, mobile users, software employees. They were very much multifocals are encouraged in them. Special
Okay.
situations like post-refractive surgery, where the cornea shape is altered, because these people are going to rise in the near future, because the many people undergoing LASIK or any PRK these days. So for
Right.
them, they're enjoying a lot of precision in vision now. For them, premium lenses are preferred because to continue the vision which they were enjoying before. So
Okay.
I think I've answered it. But the
Yeah.
Indian made lenses, yeah, they are also good and they're economical in achieving the precision.
Hmm. Okay. So,
So foreign lenses, they are preferred, or they have been because they have been in the market for long time, and studies are also available on them. The major point in selection is the material and the priority of distance at which we need the most. So there is one more important factor is the skill of the surgeon. So unfortunately, it is less paid for, and only cost of lens has taken center stage. So to summarize, the
true.
prioritize our choice according to the working distance. And yes, Indian lenses also to offer desired vision and to realize the skill of this agenda. These three important points I would
Right.
advise.
Right. You have really given a very good clarity on this aspect, Dr. Sriram. Yeah, skill of the surgeon is definitely an important thing, but the usual cost factor comes into account because once we meet the surgeon, come out and there are people who counsel regarding the cost and everything. So I think it's the same surgeon will be operating both the foreign lens as well as the Indian lens. So our concentration is more over the lens rather than the surgeon. I feel so. But as you have told, and even when the surgery is being counseled, they ask us to take strict post-op care. Actually, for how long it should be taken and what does it entail?
In today's scenario, clean cases of aged cataracts, strict postoperative control is seldom required. But when we are implanting a foreign material into the eye, we need to take care of reaction it actually gives about. So, but today's IOL material is also biocompatible and reaction is minimal. But important point here is the incision size is less than 1 mm. So that heals very quickly, and nevertheless, steroid eye drops are the mainstay which takes care of reaction. Prophylactic antibiotics take care of infection part. All these drops are generally prescribed for not less than 1 month. Yes,
Hmm.
protective eyewear is needed to avoid any minor trauma. And final glasses prescription, if any, for a residual refractive error or for the near vision
Okay.
in case of monofocal IOLs, they will be prescribed at after 1 month. That is the time given for the implant to settle down. So
Okay.
patients generally they are advised not to wash their hair with shampoo or use soap on the face for 1 month at least, as it can harm the operated eye. As per diet also, patient generally asks about which diet to be taken. There are no diet restrictions, but preferably in within 1 week duration, preferably not to have any hard substances like
Hmm.
roti or chapati, which will actually have an effect on the operated eye. And yes, there is one interesting point here. The studies are going on to inject the total dose of steroid and antibiotic into the eye once at the time of surgery itself. So this makes
Wow.
it a dropless post-operative period. So let's be
Yeah.
hopeful. And the routine follow-up we practice is 1 week, 1 month, and as and when needed. But in this COVID
Right.
era, we are encouraging teleophthalmology, thereby decreasing unnecessary post-op visits. So we will be actively telephoning the patient at 1 week duration and ask about their whereabouts or how the condition of the eye is. And if it is required and we feel that we have to have one look of it, then we are asking them to visit the clinic. Otherwise, we can advise them on call on phone itself.
Right, Sriram. This COVID era has actually changed a lot of things in our day-to-day life, and I'm really hopeful that the dropless post-operative period should quickly set in. It's too fascinating to even listen to it. I'm going ahead, Sriram. What can be the expected complications of this surgery?
Yes, Dr. Vijay. Actually, routine complications like glare, photosensitivity are expected. Rarely, patient may develop redness, drop in vision. They must suspect severe reaction and follow it up with surgeon immediately. Late complications, like I have discussed before, after cataract formation, it can be dealt with YAG laser as an OPD procedure. Comorbidities like diabetes tends to delay healing and may cause some issues post-operatively. Preoperative dry eye, if present, will worsen post-operatively also. So appropriate medicines may be needed to combat dry eye. Precision of vision will be less in case of dry eye, But yes, that's why we have to address it. Protective eyewear is a must for those who are working outdoors. I guess I have
Okay.
cleared a few
Yeah.
complications.
Right. Right. And Dr. Sriram, as you were mentioning about after cataract, like few people even still after the surgery, they say that they're unable to see properly. Can that be an attributable reason, or is there any other reason for it? And if at all, what can be done for that?
After cataract is a late complication which occurs 3 to 6 months after the surgery. But
Okay.
in immediate postoperative phase, some patients may have reaction to the cornea leading to some corneal edema that will settle down gradually with the help of steroid drops. But after calculation of proper IOL power, still patients may have some residual refractive error. Some such patients need to be counseled and they may require spectacles postoperatively, or if they are insist about a spectacle free vision, we can offer them laser also. But
Okay.
a most important factor is we need to counsel the patient properly as to what would be his postoperative vision. Sometimes the patient's eye will be aging and they may have age related changes in the retina, and sometimes they may have glaucoma also, which they may not be knowing it before. So all these factors have to be counseled properly and to give them a proper view of what their postoperative vision is going to be, because in today's era expectations are sky high after having digital viewing experience. So nothing wrong, but we have to properly intimate the patient of what his eye is presently and what it is going to be after surgery. And that is what is
Yeah.
the most important factor.
True.
So
Right.
I
Counseling
hope
is
I've
really
cleared
important.
the.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So I think even I also understood that because even in my family, many of them who have undergone the cataract surgery still complain of these things. So now I have got an answer actually. So apart from this, Dr. Sriram, I would also like to ask you because few patients also complain of excessive watering of eyes on the operated side. What has to be done actually?
It is a subjective complaint, Dr. Vijay, watering. Some patients are apprehensive. Their threshold will be low in. So our IOL implantation, it takes some time for adjusting to the IOL. So
Mm,
people will be apprehensive. I mean, they feel that water is flowing in front of the eye, or vision is not clear because of that. It's a
mm,
we have to evaluate that complaint in two perspectives. One may be wet surface alone, or the other will be the like drooling of water onto cheeks. So glare and increased light sensitivity, these are the problems which are due to adjustment to the IOL. Sometimes the watering will be over onto the cheeks also. If it is associated with redness or discharge, it has to be addressed immediately. It might be something due to infection. But
okay.
sometimes the aging eyelids and the lacrimal pump mechanism, that is the water holding capacity of the eye,
Mm,
not normal drainage into the nose, these will be hampered. So for them we have to evaluate it. If there is any drainage issues, then we have to address it with other procedures to correct
right.
the watering complaint. So, and also sometimes there will be severe dry eye which produces reflex tearing as few nerves of the cornea are irritated due to surgical trauma. So they
Okay.
can be managed with tear substitutes. To summarize, detailed evaluation of the eye, good doctor-patient interaction clears many doubts. We can give the patient a new clear vision. So I
Right.
hope I
Right.
have cleared
Yeah,
questions.
you have actually cleared our minds. Plus, you are clearing the vision of many people also. We are very thankful for you, Dr. Sriram, to attend this podcast and clearing our doubts, the most common doubts for the most common surgery. Thank you so much,
A
Dr.
very
Sriram.
good initiative by you, Dr. Vijay, to educate people with the common health issues. In this COVID era, people are not finding answers for their ailments. So this channel clears many questions of patients and builds some confidence in them to overcome these issues. I'm very
Probably, Dr.
happy to
Sriram.
be part of it. I thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Vijay.
Dr. Sriram. Hopeful to see you again on some on another most important topic, because when I've told that you are coming, so people have also asked about, many of my young friends have actually asked about LASIK surgery. Probably next time when we both are free, we can do it also.
Surely, I am in always.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sriram. So that's all, my friends, for this week. Next week, again, we shall catch up with a very nice topic and a great discussion. Till then, stay home, take care, and bye bye. Hello, friends. This is Dr. Vijay, and welcome back to the podcast on health and wellness.